Paul, if you're covering the Raiders, which you covered the Raiders at one point in your career.
I did.
Do you just go in the locker room every day and try to go to Colin Kaepernick and just ask his thoughts on something political going on, just to make sure you're going to get a story that's read by everyone in America?
Look,
to me, that's going to be what it becomes, right? Colin, give us your thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on this? It's going to be nothing about football with him.
They'll try to put him off limits, but you
continues to
can't.
talk.
I mean, you can only put 2 guys on a weekly schedule. Are you going to burn your second one on your backup quarterback? I mean, who's their second biggest player? Devontae Adams.
Well, can we keep going hypothetical? Let's say he refuses to do media. The NFL doesn't want that. I'm saying they don't want him
to be in
to do exactly what just happened. They'll have to fine him. Will they? Will they force him to speak if that's going to be the way it's going to take place? Because the NFL doesn't. They want to avoid that altogether. Yeah. They don't want to get back to the daily sports talk radio discussion of what he's wearing, what he stands for, and who's kneeling.
The rule is, Chad, when in doubt, write the quarterback. The rule doesn't say which quarterback.
Well, to me, this is the best possible solution for the NFL if they could get away with it. Fake fines.
Say you're fining him,
you put him off limits to the media, and then you act like you're fining him and never fine him because secretly you want him muzzled. You don't want him speaking to the media because you know it's going to cause controversy for your brand.
But is he going to come? Now, I would think he'll go along with anything at this stage to get a chance to play. But
I think the way he talks about needing to play and wanting to play now and wanting to do this and that, I think the guy needs money. So I think he would shut up for that reason.
Maybe. Or he could say, I want to talk.
Or is he worth more just by getting the tryout and not signing? So he's back in the media circle again.
I don't know that makes him any money.
Well, he's more valuable by not being signed instead of being a third-string quarterback.
Oh, NFL minimum he's a 4-year guy, right?
If he did a sit-down, or if he wrote a book or did a sit-down interview, I mean, he's going to make more than the NFL minimum at any position.
Yeah, but he could have been doing that all this time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he's needing money, he can make more by doing something else other than being a third-string quarterback.
So that would take away that he needs.
And I would also say if he wanted to play football, he could have been in the USFL or any other league over the last several years if he was truly passionate about football.
I'd like to get to the bottom
just to get a look.
Well, what is
these are questions he's going to be asked.
He's done a They've done a movie about him that he had to sign rights away to. He's done a docuseries. He's done different things to get paid during all of this. I don't know. Maybe he just really wants to play football, but then again, like Hutton said, he doesn't really want to play football because he could have done that elsewhere.
See, I'm Colin Kaepernick out. Just bringing him up again makes me just tired. I would hope there would be a larger share of America that would react like that rather than wanting to re-engage on this topic. And maybe we'll hear answers to these questions on him. We'll go through one big round of debate on it, and he can fade into being a backup quarterback. Or is that a pipe dream for me?
I mean, the whole
if he makes it,
the whole the whole thing about the backup position was a huge storyline. Whenever he was trying to latch back on initially in 2016 or 17, he hasn't played since 2016.
2016 or 2017?
Yeah, he last played.
That's a long time. Look, that's the big fact of the matter is
he was benched.
That nobody stays out of the league that long and reemerges to be successful. Whether you want to argue he got blackballed or not, was good enough or not, I think he's good enough to be a backup because there's so many crappy backups in the league.
I mean, he got blackballed.
You take a guy who went to the Super Bowl.
We can say it here. He got blackballed.
He got blackballed.
No one wanted to sign him because of the headache it was going to cause.
He's out 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Who's out of the league 5 years and comes back? Nobody is out of the league 5 years and comes back. It just does not happen.
How long was Michael
Vick on without you. Well, he's in prison
for 2 years.
He's unavailable in prison is a different thing, but it's only 2 years. This is twice that plus a year. It just doesn't happen. So hey, more power to him if he goes and has a kick-ass tryout. And Josh McDaniels and Mark Davis want to be the guys. But I just still think it's a super long shot.
Jacob on the YouTube feed says, Cap is more irrelevant now, so this can help put him back in the spotlight to make him money. Being a second or third string quarterback, to me, is not going to put him more in the spotlight than things he could be going and speaking out about right now. I just don't know that that's going to add a lot to his spotlight.
I'm going to go find that.
For a vested vet, what is
50-year minimum.
Yeah. The minimum is, what, a bit over $1 million probably for the season? And keep in mind, if they sign him, he's going to get if he accepts it, the signing bonus is not going to be extravagant.
I'm
then
presuming
you have to make the roster to even get it.
He might get no signing bonus.
Maybe,
but
yeah.
50-year minimum in 2022, $1.035 million. So a nice salary, but
that's on the roster. That's not
on the roster
today.
Right. He would get the per diem and stuff for training camp, but he's not making any real money until opening day. I'm presuming that's 50, right? His contract ran out with the 49ers, and that's when he disappeared. His contract ran out.
It's a great point you bring up about how long he's been out now, because it doesn't seem that long.
He's been out longer than he played. He played 4 years.
Right.
He's been out 5 years.
We mock T.O. every time he talks about wanting to play again. And he brings it up constantly. And he's playing again right now in that fan league with football. Michael Vick and Johnny Manziel, and here's 40-year-old or however old T.O. playing. But he talks about how he feels like he could come back and play. I mean, Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco.
Those guys are guys who are unable to let go that their career's over, as opposed to this guy who did leave the league. And by the way, he played more than 4 years. He played, was drafted in 2011, played through 16. So
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6 years.
Played 6 years and has been out 5 years. So he got a second contract, a small second contract.
Zach on the YouTube feed says, I'm glad Cap is coming back. Makes his claim of the NFL being like slavery make as much sense as someone who would willingly go into slavery after saying that.
Well, that's it, too. He'll be asked about that, too.
He's not back. He'll be asked about all of this. Not back yet. 1.035 is still the number for him.